Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the long-awaited The Cure album, Songs of a Lost World, and apparently it's a great time to be a The Cure fan because this has been a long time coming. I will say I'm kind of on the newer-ish side of the fan base, but so far from the songs that I've attached to from The Cure, I really like these guys. And also, me being a Blink fan, knowing that most of the Blink guys, I think all three of them, love The Cure as well. Uh, and having that one song on the Untitled Blink album with Robert Smith, that also kind of introduced me to The Cure. But without further ado, looking at the first song, Alone, this is the big single. And it very much sets a good precedent for how the rest of the album's going to go, with kind of like a long intro and then going into the rest of the song with Robert Smith singing. And to me, that's the crazy thing, that like these are really long songs, but they are very good still and keep my attention. And it's just very much, I could tell it's they're playing very hardcore to their bass. Like this is like, in my opinion, very much classic sounding The Cure, where I've heard that basically all their albums, I haven't listened to all of them, but each of their albums has something special and unique and different to offer. And this album in particular, I feel like very much harkens back to the Disintegration album with Love Song, and just very much reminds me of that kind of vibe. So far so good with Alone. It's very epic sounding. I'm gonna try not to say that too much, but that's just kind of describes this album in whole. And like a soundscape at times, which is nice. And it's at the beginning, it has these violins that basically sound like synths, like they sound just like perfect, like a machine is playing it or something like that, which maybe it is, I don't know. And or you can just make people playing violins sound like they're good with editing. But anyway, the very cool sounding. And the band also sounds very amazing with basically like really crushing bass guitar in this song in particular. Like the bass guitar, you can hear it real good. And I'm finding more and more with just listening to albums in general, I really appreciate when I can distinguish the electric guitar and the bass guitar. Like I feel like with some albums from different artists I can't, or I can't hear the bass guitar at all. But anyway, you can hear the bass guitar on this album. Like if you can't, you're deaf. So that really adds to the song in particular. The guitar sounds very crunchy in particular, and there's light pianos throughout, and the drums sound very, best word I could come up with for this song in particular. The drums sound rich. Like I don't know if that's a good description, but it just sounds full. And this is definitely an album to drive to, like if you want to stay calm while you're driving. uh this particular sound will soothe you. Sometimes when I'm driving, like I need to get pumped, like with loud music, and this is actually loud music, but it's chill at the same time. It's kind of weird. And the lyrics, obviously for The Cure, is kind of par for the course, but this particular song is very reflective, uh, reflective lyrics. So great start. I would definitely say we'll see towards the end of the album, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up liking all of these songs equally. So I might not have a top five. So the next song, And Nothing Is Forever, has a orchestral part towards the beginning with piano and the synth-like violins, and it's just very chill. And I like how progressive these songs are. They're not your typical like pop song or anything like that, which The Cure can do, like Friday I'm in Love, but they're showing, I guess that's them showing restraint when they make a song like Friday I'm in Love, because they could just make songs like these and it just sounds great too. So and nothing is forever has very crunchy, nice guitars again with the crunchy, and this is the first love song of the album, so obviously it's going to be good. And the next song, A Fragile Thing, is very dramatic sounding at the beginning, and the bass guitar again sounds just really upfront and great. And yeah, the singing starts a lot sooner on this one, so you get a lot more Robert Smith, which is, I'm sure, a great thing for the Cure fans. And that's the only thing I would say about these songs with long intros. I could see people saying, well, he could have been singing in those, but I'm sure it was just trying to be a song that, kind of sets you in the mood. Like, it's not all about somebody singing. You can have the band playing stuff and kind of setting a mood for the song, and then Robert starts singing. But A Fragile Thing is not that way. He sings the whole time on that one. So I could see how that song might be liked by more people because you get to hear Robert more. The next song, War Song. I kind of like how they just name stuff War Song and End Song, kind of like their love song on one of their older albums. But this song in particular, the guitars sound really good. Definitely extra Doritos crunchy level of guitars on this one. And it's basically a song about regret and how war leads to bitter ends. And I would say this song is the most like rocky-ish sort of song on the album, besides the next song, which is Drone: No Drone. This is definitely the most, I would say, unique song on the album, and I love the like very chunky, bouncy bass riff, guitar riff for this song. It's very catchy, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins a little bit with how like very syncopated the bass guitar riffs are, and the drums are also syncopated as well, and very whiny and scratchy guitars because they're trying to be like a drone in a way, very droning sound. And this is probably the fastest song on the album, so if you're into faster songs, this one is the one you should check out from this album. And I Can Never Say Goodbye is back to kind of the regular pace of the album with speed, and has a ton of pianos on this one. And I just put the guitars and bass and drums are just like so in sync. And I would say in Alone as well, the band just sounds so in sync. And this song in particular has like melancholy and epic vibes at the same time. And the synths are back, and this song has a pretty long guitar solo. And after the guitar solo, there's a bass guitar solo. So it's like getting all of the band members to show off their skills in this one song. It's pretty cool. And it's the lyrics are basically about a brother being taken away. So the next song, All I Ever Am, it definitely has a lot more singing, a lot like A Fragile Thing. And this song basically shows off the drums, I would say. And there's actually a ton of guitar on this song too. So I could have seen this one being a single, to be honest. I liked All I Ever Am. It's really good. And the last song, end song, is 10 minutes long, I think. 10 minutes and like 30 or 20 seconds or something like that. But again, like, it never felt like a drag, which is impressive. even though it's a slower song, like it still is like very much grabs you. It's very emotional sounding, like somber but reflective. And it talks about the silence at the end of every song, and which is a callback to Alone, which also talks about like when the song ends, that you're whichever song you're listening to, there's just silence. And it's just kind of talking about that, how everything's quiet and you just feel alone in that split second when there's no music playing after the end of the song. So to wrap this up, I would definitely say this album, it just sounds big, if I could describe it that way. It's very large sounding and epic in a way, which I don't want to use that word too much, but it very much fits that bill in this case. Not being cliche, it is epic sounding and big sounding, kind of like all the Pitchfork and whoever would say, but it literally is that. So if you guys like The Cure, I think you'll like this one a lot. And if you haven't listened to The Cure, I would say this is a good first look, because it's pretty great. I am going to say it has no skips for me. Even the 10-minute one, I would not skip. It's pretty good. And because it has no skips, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think about this album. And apparently, we won't have to wait too long for another album, because Robert Smith said something about they've got a lot more on the way. So that's cool too. And all right, let me know what you guys think of this album, and I will see you guys later.